have a great love of going into the field, and mainly that started with being at the Field Museum as an exhibit designer. I've been doing that since about 1989 or so. And there's something really special about the smell of the desert and finding fossils. It's like treasure hunting. And I really have wanted to share that with students. I was able to do that with my student Jay Myers, who is an alum from film at Columbia College. He made the film Pacific Desert. And Jenna Domichelle, who was an Army student with me, and she actually was in art history and went on to, she's a PhD student at Texas Tech in archaeology right now. So I started with my class in 2015. These are 6 students who took the first class. This is out in the Petrified Forest National Park. And they learned about the paleoecology of the park, and also about fossils from 250 or about 225 to 200 million years ago. And they collected fossils, they learned how to identify them, and also to record the data in field notebooks. And that's the biggest part of this class. It's about field observation and methods. And so you can see the students here, a great camaraderie is developed. If the color was a little bit better, you would see that this is a very red painted desert with the moon rising, and this is the first night that we were in the field. And so what they do is they take this work that they record in their field notebooks, and they translate that into a final project. And this particular student, Dane Wheaton, who's still here at the college, is a game designer, and he wrote a game concept from the Dying Grounds, which is an area that we worked in at the Petrified Forest. This is Sierra Romsberg. She's a graphic designer, and she actually made an annotated coloring book about the wildlife of the park and went on to do an internship there the summer after we were there. Believe it or not, that's a fossil skull, something new that nobody ever has seen before. She found it in the park. And also there was a collaboration, that's a big part of this class, with Bob Blandford's Hoken project, students, both undergraduates and graduates, over 3 semesters. And some of you may have gone to the Field Notebook show. Now, I'll hand it over to Chris.
So, Robin mentioned her love. My love is illustration. And so I got really excited about the idea when we looked at the field notebooks from this exhibition, about the idea that those tell stories and illustration tell stories. So when Robin and I got a chance to start talking about this, and the idea that we would be able to maybe work on this together, at first I thought maybe I could just take the class, and she was like, maybe you could teach the class, and I certainly would love to teach this class, because I love dinosaurs and all this stands for. So when I got involved, I also thought about, I come from a design background, maybe we should think about branding this. We were going to extend the class beyond 6 students to a larger possibility of 12. So we started a promotional campaign. We brought in more information about it. We created a Facebook that could influence both inside and outside the classroom. So inside the classroom, in my role, having a background in art and design, I was thinking about in what way can I bring this to develop this. So I thought about, they're going to have to think about speed. They're going to have to think about shortening. So we did things like line contour. We did projects that were timed. And so I thought this was kind of ironic that we're timed here in a very quick way. So the idea that they were working very fast to sort of get those shortcomings that they would be taking to the field. They also had homework assignments. I love this one. This is a great example of how, you can take a map today. We all look at our phones. We're going to a place. We really don't understand a place. So this homework assignment was really to help them better understand where they're going, the landmarks that will be there, what it's going to be like when they get out in the field. And so as they transition out in the field, I think this is a really cool thing. They're starting now to know where they're at, and now they're getting down to those smaller aspects. This is them drawing. I was so impressed by what they were doing out there. Conditions were not great for drawing. It's windy. Bugs are biting you. It's, the sun's going down. In fact, I brought this water because I'm going to give you guys a pro tip. When you're out in the desert, anyone asks you, how much water do you need? The answer is, there's never enough water in the desert. So I think that's a good thing. So this continues on. So now they're bringing what they were doing outside into the inside. On June 6th, we got to participate in Dinosaur Day. It was so much fun. They had families coming in, we worked with the Park Service, and our students started taking the work that they were learning from and now presenting that to other young people. They were actually teaching what they were drawing. They were showcasing these experiences, and it was a really fun, playful thing to see. And so as we continued out in the field, this is a nice example of seeing something that might come out of a textbook. It's a strat column. They're drawing of this, but there's nothing they're going to get better than when they're actually out there being able to witness this and sort of translate what they're seeing here into that environment and back and forth. And from that experience, they were then able to bring all this back. They got a chance to then tell their stories in the ways that they've been studying here. And I think that that's a magical thing that Columbia College does really well and allow for our students to actually do that, which is bring two different ideas together and then present their own information from that.
So that last scratch board piece was Manny Vatilides, and he actually just got, he just told me today that he's working with NASA in a workshop and he's hoping to go to the field school. So these are some other final projects from students. This is Chris Rohrback. He's in film. He'll be graduating in the fall of next year. And also there was a paleontology methods notebook that you saw there. This is what the field notebook looks like. These students are really learning how to observe what's in the field, to think about the science, to think about it, where they're seeing it, like with the Strack column, the geologic units, and then drawing them. And so these illustration methods that Chris introduced to the class really have helped students to hone their observation skills and to get the most out of this whole experience. There's a tent. This was in the design department. These are some of the field notebook pages blown up. Melanie is a photographer. Her family came from Minnesota. So this is really a collaborative